we are organizing the last event of Open Source Month, and today we will be having a lightning talk. So basically, in this event, we have a lot of participants here who will share their experience with you, and they will tell you about their organizations, and they will share some tips and tricks and why you should choose that organization. So, starting with Anand, he did GSOC last year, this year at Open Astronomy. So, over to you, Anand.
Okay. Uh, Thanks a lot, Avinul. Okay, before moving ahead, I would just want to give you a brief introduction about myself. Hello, everyone. My name is Anand Kumar. I am a final year dual degree computer science student from NIT Hamirpur. I am the technical programming head of Robotics Society NIT Hamirpur. Coming to my interest, I am an AI enthusiast and an open source developer. I am proficient and interested in the fields of data analytics, deep learning, and web development. So today I will be giving a lightning talk about my GSOC experience with Open Astronomy. So first, let us know what Open Astronomy is. Open Astronomy is not a single project, but rather an umbrella organization, which means it is a collaboration between open source astronomy related projects to share resources, ideas, and to improve code. Out of these organizations, Radis is the one that is based on infrared spectroscopy that I was a part of this summer. Open Astronomy has total of 19 organizations, so it is a really huge open source organization. Now, first, let me tell you guys the reason why I chose Radis. First of all, the whole code base is in Python, and I'm really proficient in the same. So that became my primary reason for selecting it. My problem involved data analysis and machine learning, which made me interested in the project. Moreover, I'm interested in astronomy, and it was the primary reason why I chose Open Astronomy in the first place. Now, the reason why should someone contribute to Radis? The first thing, the whole code base is in Python, and most of the students are familiar with it, so it becomes easy for anyone to understand the code base, which is one of the most difficult aspects when anyone starts with any open source organization. Also, a new field to explore. A guy like me who forgot about spectroscopy after JE, it was really nice to see how this field works and just makes things whole lot interesting. It also has a web application in development phase based on React. So any person who is interested in the same can contribute to it. Okay. Now coming to my GSOC experiences, first thing that I experienced was the great exposure. In the organization, there are people from different countries, fields, and experiences. So if there is always a great atmosphere, and every interaction between the mentors and the people of the organization leads to exchange of great ideas and knowledge. My GSOC experience can be summed up in the following order. First, propose. First, what I basically did was propose a solution to the problem statement. Then I will discuss that proposal with my mentor. We will review it. Then we will implement the code. My mentor will review the code base and give any changes, request any changes, and then after getting accepted by the mentor and the whole organization, the whole code base get merged or deployed. Third reason, we can say that usually the maintainers of the project are experienced developers. Thus, they follow the best coding practices in their project. So it was a great opportunity for me to improve my development skills as well as my coding skills. Fourth thing is that you can always see your contribution to that organization, and you can see how much impact your code is having on the user experiences. For example, my project basically involved data analysis, finding out the bottleneck in the current implementation of the code base, improving upon the code base. So at the end, I was able to add 4,200 lines of code to the code base, and I was able to improve the performance of the code 40 times. So just as by saying that, you can see how much impact I created within the organization. So that is something that you can be proud of if you participate in GSOC or do open source contribution. Now, some personal tips I think that would be helpful for students that will be participating in the GSOC next year. First and foremost, start early. Since you are competing with many students all over the world for the same organization and the same project, it is best that you join the community as early as possible and stick to a single project. This will give you an edge over the other students. Second thing, and the most crucial thing according to me, is your engagement and interaction with the mentors. After all, they will be the one who will decide whether you are selected or not. Try to interact more with your mentors and solidify your proposal by submitting it early to the mentor and getting it reviewed as early as possible so you can do any adjustments according to him. And third, and not the least, contributions, because it gives you proof to the mentors that you can contribute to the repo and you can fulfill or complete your project by the end of the summer. Okay, so that was it by my side. These are some of the links related to my GSOC project experience and other students who were the Open Astronomy project. So you can check these links out and hope you have a great session ahead.
Thank you, Anand. So now we will be moving to the next participant, Khyati. So Khyati did her GSOC this year at 52° North GmbH, and she'll be sharing her experience now. So over to you, Khyati.
Yeah, yes, sir. So, hi everyone, Kathy. I'm a third year student and pursuing my dual degree at NIT Hamidpur. And I was a student developer at 52° North GmbH organization during this year's GSOC. So, now coming to the organization's introduction. So, the organization works on geospatial open source projects. Projects are research based and recently changed their name to 52° North Initial Geospatial Open Source Software. And yeah, the organization develops data infrastructures to promote the derivation of information from data, like or related to some research work. And based on that research, they try to get some information from the processed data and use it for analysis purposes. And mainly their projects are on geospatial data and observational things. So the technologies that are used at the organization, some of them are JavaScript for the front end part, and they use OGC standards, Open Geospatial Constitution standards for doing all the research based on the geospatial data. And for analysis purposes, they use Python and R. And recently, they started using FATUB because this year's GSOC, one project was made in FATUB. And you can view their projects at this website, and they're at software projects. And I want to tell you about why I chose this organization. Because I like the project. The project was quite close or similar to my tech stack, so I wanted to research on it and like acknowledge to it. And in the beginning, I was also not sure if I would be able to do it or not. But then I contacted the mentor and asked him on the route, and in this way, I interacted with him, and then we started working on the project. And so, EnviroCar is basically an citizen science project. So it collects the floating car data whenever one goes from one place to the other. So the track data is collected, and user can upload it as open data. And based on that open data, some research or analysis is done to determine CO2 hotspots and the fuel consumption, and it can also for traffic flow management. So yeah. So and this year there was an existing Android, but this year we created an application for the same. And organization, because I found the guidelines they mentioned on the website for writing a good proposal much thoughtful, and they were quite helpful to help me write the proposal. So I want to share some of the guidelines they had mentioned or some suggestions. So they had like suggested to always include Scrum backlog and a sprint schedule. So Scrum backlog is simply a tabular form of the timeline or the plans we have for planning. So I included it, and the other one was to include a sprint schedule. A sprint schedule is basically a calendar form of this timeline, how we want to proceed with the like how we plan to complete the task week by week manner. My experience during GSOC was very good, and I learned a lot of things. My organization was very supportive and understanding, and whenever we had code review time, so we used to have meetings where we discussed what we had done in the previous week and what we are planning to do in the coming week, and what difficulties did we faced in the last week, and need any assistance in any problem that we are not able to solve in the last. So in this way, my development skills and were improved to another level, and I learned many new things, and our mentors told us about project management tools, usage, things, and great learning experience. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. Next we have Sarita Singh. So, over to you,
Yes, am I
Sarita.
audible? Yes.
Yeah, you.
Please confirm if I'm visible too.
Yeah, you are visible.
Okay, so hello everyone. Myself Sarita Singh. I'm in my final year of dual degree course in electronics and communication engineering. I did GSOC this year in the organization named Phosology. So Phosology is under the Linux Foundation, and along with the Phosology, there is also two more projects named the Ninja and Atarashi. And like coming to the Phosology, what it is all about. So it is an open source license compliance toolkit and system. So the toolkit, you can use it, in the command line interface, and you can write all the commands and check for, licenses and the copyright information that you want from a code piece or, any of the binary code file. and it also has this web UI that you can use, and that is like super helpful to get quicker information. You just have to upload the file and get all the information that you needed. Now coming to why I chose this organization. So I started open source contribution in January, and the very first project that I contributed was the Scanco toolkit, which is another license compliance toolkit, and like it gives information about all the licenses and everything. So there were various of the good first issues, and like the idea was very simple to understand. So and it was a Python based project, so I started with that, and it was around March when name to all the organizations were officially out, and I was going through like all the ideas. So like I came across this idea to integrate Scanco toolkit into the Fossology, and since I was like already familiar with the Scanco toolkit, so it was quite easy for me to like get started. So I like started contributing to the Fossology organization, and also Avinal was there already like contributing to the project. So it was like it became easy to collaborate, and whenever we get stuck, so we discuss about things. And also the community is super helpful, like before the like during the pre GSOC period, they have this weekly meeting organized. There you can like ask about the project, and you can also ask about the proposal that you if you are feeling difficulty about. So they explain it, like all the mentors and all the peers, and like everyone is there, so you can ask your queries there, and that was super helpful, like preparing the proposal and the prototype. So yeah, so overall all like experience pre GSOC and like during GSOC was like awesome, and yeah, it would be great if you go there and contribute to the project. So that's all by my side, and thank you.
Thank you, Sharita, and yeah, it was a great collaboration. So next in the list we have Sarthak Bharadwaj. He did GSOC at Free Type this year. He will be sharing his experience now.
Hello everyone. My name is Sarthak Bharadwaj. I'm from third year CSC dual degree. First of all, I would like to thank GLUG-NITH for this great initiative for this open source month. Okay, so let's start with the introduction of my organization. Okay, so I worked with FreeType as a student developer. So FreeType is a popular library used to render the fonts. जितने भी आपने fonts देखे होंगे जो लिनक्स में यूज होते हैं और मोस्टली एंड्रॉइड में यूज होते हैं वो सारे FreeType ही बनाता है. तो द मेन थिंग इज दैट एवरीवन हैज शेयर्ड द जर्नी. तो मैं थोड़ा आपको रोड मैप बताना चाहूंगा कि कैसे आप प्रोसीड कर सकते हो इफ यू आर नॉट दैट गुड एट कोडिंग. सो बेसिकली व्हेन आई वाज इन फर्स्ट ईयर तो मैंने जीसॉक का नाम सुना कि जीसॉक क्या होता है और क्यों इतना इसे हाइप दी जाती है. सो मेरा पॉइंटर उस टाइम अराउंड 6.5 6.7 था, तो थोड़ा मेरे को नर्वस भी था कि शायद मेरे लिए नहीं होगा ये. देन मैंने थोड़ा सीनियर से बातचीत की इसके बारे में कि कैसे सर इसे आपको वो करना है, कैसे फोकस करना है. तो देयर वाज अ सीनियर शिवम कपिला सर, अभी फाइनल ईयर में होंगे. तो उन्होंने मेरे को कहा कि यू आर गोइंग इन अ रॉन्ग ट्रैक. लाइक GSOC is like open source is like a fam. It's not like that you have to crack the GSOC and it's over. Okay, he suggested me to just enjoy the open source and contribute as much as you can. And like show them that you are able to collaborate and you are able to communicate. Okay, GSOC is not far. तो फिर उसके बाद मैंने देखा कि कैसे ओपन सोर्स वर्क करता है, क्या कैसे ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस होती हैं। फिर उसके बाद मैंने फिगर आउट किया कि कैसे-कैसे हमारे पास जो डिफरेंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस होती हैं। जैसे आप GSOC के अगर पेज पे जाओगे, तो सारी ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस हमें फ़िल्टर करके मिल जाएँगी। तो फिर मैंने सबसे बड़ी फर्स्ट मिस्टेक ये करी कि मैंने इनके जो IRCs और स्लैक चैनल्स होते हैं, लाइक जो बेसिकली जो इनके प्राइमरी कम्युनिकेशन चैनल्स होते हैं, उन्हें मैंने स्पैम करना स्टार्ट कर दिया, लाइक कि आई एम सार्थक भारद्वाज एंड आई एम फ्रॉम हियर एंड हियर एंड लाइक मेरे को कंट्रीब्यूट करना है, मेरे को ये आता है। आई स्टार्टेड ब्रैगिंग अबाउट माय स्किल्स व्हिच वाज़ नॉट लाइक सोफिस्टिकेटेड एट ऑल। तो फिर उन्होंने मेरे को बताया कि यू हैव टू बी डिसेंट, यू हैव टू बी लाइक आपको अपना स्पिरिट दिखाना है कि आप कर सकते हो, आपको कोलैबोरेट करने का आप में स्किल है। यू आर नॉट आपको अपने वो नहीं दिखाना है कि मुझे बहुत ही आता है या मुझे बहुत ही ज़्यादा नॉलेज है। तो द थिंग कि हम फिर स्टार्ट की ऑडिशन सेलेक्ट करनी। फिर ऐसे मैंने देखा कि जो फ्री टाइप है उसमें लास्ट ईयर एक जिस सर ने पार्टिसिपेट किया था वो हमारे कॉलेज के थे। तो मुझे लगा कि थोड़ा मेरे लिए ईज़ी हो जाएगा। तो फिर मैंने उनसे बातचीत स्टार्ट की। तो द फर्स्ट थिंग इज़ कि जो सबसे फर्स्ट थिंग एंड द वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग इज़ टू सेलेक्ट द ऑर्गनाइजेशन that it should match your the tech stack, you know, and जो उनके जो मेंटर्स एंड ऑल हैं वो उनकी फैमिली है वो काफ़ी सपोर्टिव होने चाहिए। ओके, सो आफ्टर सेलेक्टिंग द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन द नेक्स्ट थिंग इज़ देयर टू डिस्कस अबाउट द थिंग्स। सो जो आपका फ्री टाइप का एक GSOC वाला पेज है उसमें पहले ही मेंशन हो जाता है कि आपको वहाँ पर स्पैम नहीं करना है। आपको जितना भी आप ट्राई कर सकते हो कि जो उनका मेलिंग लिस्ट होती है, जो भी आपका प्रोजेक्ट है, उससे रिलेटेड जो स्टफ़ है, वो मेलिंग लिस्ट पे चेक करें और उसके बाद थोड़ा अपनी तरफ से भी गूगल करें। बिकॉज़ द मेंटर्स बहुत बिज़ी होते हैं वो। तो वो आपके हर जो न्यूबीज़ वाले क्वेश्चन्स होते हैं, वो आपके सारे आंसर करने में वो मतलब अक्वेंटेड नहीं होते। तो ये चीज़ होती है। तो जो फ्री टाइप का है, अगर आपको इसमें पार्टिसिपेट करना है, तो you should do some googling and you should check their mailing list there. Okay, so after that the thing that comes is writing a good proposal. So I would show my proposal. So this is my proposal. So proposal लिखने में जो सबसे important thing होती है वो होता है कि आपको एक decent proposal लिखना है। एंड जो डिसेंट प्रपोजल में जो एक आपको बेसिकली हर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का कुछ स्पेसिफिक उनकी जो रिक्वायरमेंट्स होती हैं, तो प्लीज इंश्योर करें कि जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस हैं उनसे आप डिस्कस करें कि प्रपोजल में आपको क्या क्या स्पेसिफिक चीज़ें चाहिए। ऑलराइट, सो प्रपोजल बेसिकली प्रपोजल में आता है द फर्स्ट थिंग जो पर्सनल इन्फॉर्मेशन होती है आपकी। ओके, जो आपका गिटहब आईडी है, गिटलैब आईडी है, जो भी। ओके, उसके बाद यू हैव टू mention the abstract, the very basic thing about the project. Okay, after the abstract there comes the technical details. Technical details में आपको जितना भी आपको knowledge हो, जितना भी आप आपको शो करना है कि आपको जितनी knowledge है उतना आपको उन्हें बताना है कि technical details में मुझे सब कुछ आता है, like that. All right, so after that the most important thing, that schedule, कि आपको जो पीरियड है, जो आपने अपने टारगेट्स को कैसे-कैसे मतलब जो आपको बड़ी प्रॉब्लम एक प्रोजेक्ट है उसे कैसे ब्रेक डाउन किया है आपने स्मॉलर प्रॉब्लम्स में, एंड हाउ यू विल डिलीवर दैट ऑल। ओके, so this is the thing, and after that you have to show the development experience, that how much you are acquainted with the things, and you have worked with which and which tech stack. Okay, and after that this will be according to the your ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की, और जो आपकी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन आपकी स्पेसिफिक रिक्वायरमेंट्स हैं कि जो प्रपोजल में आपको चाहिए वो आपको इसमें रखना है। सो दिस इज थिंग कि आपको कभी भी रूड नहीं होना है अपने उसके साथ, दैट कि आपको हमेशा हम्बल रहना है और एकदम कोलैबोरेशन की आपको वो चीज़ देखनी है कि आपको कोलैबोरेट कर सकें आप, और GSOC इज़ ऑल अबाउट कोलैबोरेशन एंड लाइक मेंटर से अच्छे से कोऑर्डिनेट कैसे कर सकें। ऑलराइट, सो आई थिंक दिस इज इट। थैंक यू।
Thank you, Sarthak. That was a very descriptive experience. And yeah, as we have told you in the previous events, no spams, no direct messaging. So you should keep all this in mind. And now you can hear it from all the experienced person. So make sure that you keep these little points in your mind whenever contributing to an open source project. And the other important point, I'm sorry, my connection was just a bit weak. So yeah, just contribute. You find an issue and work on it. So next, for the next speaker, we have Shwetal. She did Google season of docs this year at WeChatty. Over to you, Shwetal.
Hi everyone. I'm Shweta, and yeah, I'll be sharing screen first. Uh, I don't have that. Okay, yeah, I now have. Is it visible?
Yeah, it's visible now.
Okay. So hi everyone. I'm Shwetal from CSC third year, and my skills are like I'm interested in UI UX design, web development, blockchain development, and technical writing. And this year I did Google season of docs at VChatty. So about VChatty, VChatty is a SDK basically that is used to make chatbots, which can be used for different apps like WeChat, WhatsApp, Gitter, Lark, and etc. etc. So like if you ask me why you should go for VChatty, like if you're experienced with JavaScript, TypeScript, then I would recommend you can uh, go for VChatty. And as this is a documentation program, so like if you have worked on your own projects and wrote readme for that, then you can definitely go for it. Like if you know markdown, and for vchatty you need to know also mdx is basically markdown with some gsx. So if you have all that, you can go for vchatty. So about my experience in vchatty, like if I talk about the selection procedure, it was very unique, and I really liked it. Like it was not only the decision of owner and the co-owners, the like all of us applied before the deadline, and that the decision was all dependent on the community. And by community I mean all the people that participated, they were uh, asked for a voting. Like we all of the proposals were shared, and we can view each of our proposal and then vote on that. So the proposal that got the maximum votes was selected for this program. And the communication system, it really matters when working in a team. So it was really good here. Like we have our bi-weekly meets with our mentors and our volunteers. So this way we have to share all the work that we have done in the 2 weeks, and if we are facing any difficulties we can ask all that there. And if you have some other if you face some other issues, then we can create a issue on github on their repo, and then there was email system also. So it was overall a good experience. And I would also recommend you, like you should set up a communication way, like not only with the whole team but with your teammate. Like in my case, I and one more guy, we two were selected for the main project of vchatty, that was a tutorial section. So we had good communication between us. So this is helpful in case like we are facing some minor difficulties. So we can't run to mentors and volunteers every time we face a minor issue. So chatting between the teammates is really necessary. And about the time devotion for me was really less. Like we had our timeline decided in the beginning, and it was no headache for me to follow it, but it can vary from project to project. It was easy for vchatting. So about the tips, so how I applied for vchat is like on the season of docs page. I have like as you can see, we have a lot of organization. It gets sometimes difficult to select, and as I was a latecomer, like I got to know late about it, so I just gave a read, and I came here and selected this opt out for vchat. And then I read about the project, like about the organization and what they are expecting from us, about the documentation and all of that. And then the next thing is, after analysis and all, comes the proposal. So propose in my case, I would say proposal played a great role. Like I had only 2 days for the proposal, but being good observant, so I observed the structure of the project that is there, and like highlighted the problems there exist and what I can do for it. So I wrote all of that in my proposal. Like first we have to give a abstract, like what is the current state of the problem statement that they have given, and then what I can propose for, like what I can do in the given timeline. And then like all the structure and all that for. And then the what the thing matters most is the timeline. Like this is the team proposal that I am showing right now, but when I gave my individual proposal, it didn't have a very detailed timeline. But I would suggest you, like if you can give a detailed timeline, as you can see here, for the week, divided into different weeks, like week 1, week 2, it was total 14 weeks timeline. That creates a good impression that you have a thorough knowledge of the project. So spend more time on the on writing proposal and get it reviewed by someone, maybe me. Yeah, so this was all from my side. Thank you.
Shwetal, we does have a question for you in the chat. Let
Okay.
me read it for you.
Yes.
So the question is, does WeChatty support Python for WhatsApp?
uh Python for WhatsApp. Actually, VChatty it works in many languages. Like there is JavaScript, TypeScript, Python, Golang, and many more. But as this is a documentation program, so while writing a documentation, you need to know the Markdown and the MDX. As I already told you. Does that
Uh,
clear your question?
I think it answers the question. So thank you, Shwetal. We'll be moving to the next one. So, okay, now I think it's just me. So, hello everyone. I am Avinil. I am in my final year of computer science and engineering, and I did GSOC last year and GSOC this year at Fossology. So, as Sarita already told you, what is Fossology all about? It's about, let me first go through the video line, like what is GSOC and why you should apply for GSOC. So, so there are a lot of people who are not interested directly in writing code, and they are actually interested in technical writing. And even if you are interested in coding, but if you have a significant knowledge about how to document your code and prepare documentation tutorials, then GSOC is a very good start. So there's a lot of experience. Yeah, it's a fully open source work. So yeah, there is a lot of open source work involved, and this is a very good experience. Once you can go through GSOC, you will get a good grasp on how the open source work. So yeah, I did my like in the previous one of the event, we have told you how to choose your organization. Maybe first can be just go for you know just go for the software that you use daily. So yeah, we use VideoLAN daily, and VideoLAN runs on almost every device, you name it, and it runs on every platform. So that is how I choose VideoLAN for my GSOC proposal. And yeah, it was a good experience. You can go to VideoLAN website, and then you will be able to see the documentation here. I documented the Android app for VideoLAN, and now we can come to the fossology part. So I did the GSOC at fossology. So some of the things about fossology, Sita already told uh, here, and I will explain a bit. So before going to fossology, I was not aware of how the licensing work in open source and how important it is. And actually, it was just like you can just put your license there and it just means something. What it means, we don't know. But after coming to this organization, we got to know that no, licensing is very, very important in open source, and there can be a great we came across. Like actually, it was. I was suggested by Sarita itself that here is one project that you might be interested in. So yeah, and that is how I got involved with fossology organization. And for those who are in, let's say, second year, final year, and they have tried GSOC, but yeah, they have not succeeded yet, I would say I also tried for 2 years and I got selected in my third attempt. So don't be nervous, don't be sad, just keep going, and then you can surely complete GSOC or GSOT anything. Now the next thing I can say, now I think there is some connection issue. Let me just, am I audible? You can put in chat. Am I audible now? I think there was some connection issue. I will turn off my camera. Okay, so continuing from why fossology. So yeah, if you want to know about licensing in open source, how things work, how to extract licenses from open source project, and what they all mean, how can licensing cause problems, and everything about open source licensing, so then you can go for fossology. There are a lot of tools in fossology if you go on website. So we have something called agent, and each agent serves a particular purpose. And so you can either develop an agent, or you can add a new agent, or maybe you can curate some agent, or there are a lot of issues to work on. There are a lot of issues related to coding, related to build structure. So you can go for fossology. And if you want to know more about my experience, I have a nicely written blog here, and you can access this blog both from my website and on the official Fossology website. So there you have all the projects that we have. Like for example, I would like to show Sarita's project. So there is all the weekly updates, what we did in the particular week. And by going through that, I'm not saying go through all the report, but you will get a good idea how the open source work, and what you can expect once you go into some prestigious programs like GSOC, GSOC, KD's season of codes, or anything. So that is all from my side, and uh, if there are some questions, I may take it, or that is all. So thank you all for joining. And today we have one major announcement. So the announcement is about we have planned this event so that you people can get involved in open source. And it's not about a particular program. It's not about GSOC. It's not about GSOC, GSOC, yeah, or Julia, or any particular program. It was all about how to get started with open source, how you can contribute to open source. And honestly speaking, once you get involved in the open source project, you will feel like you can learn by your own. You don't need someone to teach you like do this, do this. So you uh, sorry for the connection again. And so yeah, there may be problems where you can't solve a problem, but it doesn't mean you should stop contributing to open source. So the announcement that we have today, that we have decided to give some prizes to top 4 or 5 students who will be starting their open source journey. And we have some rules for prizes. So we will be rolling out the forms for enrollment, and there all the rules will be mentioned there, but I want to make a formal announcement. So your pull request must be created after 9th of August, October. That is the first event we have organized, until 6th November. That is 10 days from now, I think. And then the second requirement is it must be a medium to large size open source project. And for safe side, you can choose any project that has a nice organization, or that that is from GSOC and GSOD, or any other open source program. And in case of a tie, so as we earlier said, any contribution is a contribution. You may be contributing to code, or you may be contributing to documentation. But in case of tie, code contribution will be given more consideration. And pull request made for Hacktoberfest, they won't be considered. And the only reason we are not doing that, because in Hacktoberfest you are already getting some prizes. So we have decided to let other people also get chance to get some prizes. And the last one is there must be at least one merged PR. So very simple requirement. And actually I think some people have already started contributing. We have seen some posts on LinkedIn and even some messages in the servers. So good luck with that, and I hope everyone would be enjoy. And this is a surprise prize, and it's a nice one. So we will be rolling out form today in the after this event. So, and if you are having any problem with your contribution, then feel free to ping us in the GLUG server. And again, do not message directly, do not spam anywhere. just there is already a channel, open source man. You can ask your questions there, and if someone is available, they will be able to help you. So yeah, 6 November is the time you can fill the form, and then we will decide 4 or 5 people who will be contributing first time for the open source, and they'll get some prize. So that is all for today, and yeah, good luck. Bye. Okay, I got some suggestions like reveal the price. So the price is actually we will be giving you GitHub t-shirts, GitHub branded t-shirts, and it's a nice one. So as Hacktoberfest, you are getting the t-shirts. In this event also, we will be giving out t-shirts. So stay tuned for that, and we will announce the prizes once the period is complete. That is November 6th. So get started. If you have not started yet, just see the videos or ping us in the GLUG server, and we will help you get started. So thank you all for joining. We will be seeing each other in the server.